All right, I'm now joined by a very, 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 very special guest. I don't know how many varies that was, but that was probably the most varies I can give out. It is Eric Arditti, Barstool Sports. He covers the Orioles and baseball for them. He's also the co-host on the Exit 52 podcast. It's a great Baltimore sports show. We've been doing this for 6 years now, ever since COVID. So I just wanted to
hmm
say that to make both of us feel old. But after that, Eric, how are we doing?
We're good. We're good. I know we were talking off air, and I've been sick a lot this year, and nothing major, just annoyingly sick. But like you said, you caught me in the eye of the storm, so I'm feeling good now. I tweeted last week like it was a bummer. Like at least when I was sick last week, I could like slump down in my work chair and watch curling at like 11:13 in the morning. And then it ended on Sunday, and I'm like, crap, now what am I going to do? But it's like, oh, now I can just go to MLB Network and watch the Dodgers play the Padres at, 1 o'clock or something like that. And it's perfect. So as long as I have something to keep my ADD attention going, we're good. But yeah, no, I'm excited. Baseball is right around the corner. And again, it should be a fun and exciting year in Baltimore. So I'm pumped. I'm excited. I'm happy. It's a good time. It's a good time of the sports year too.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right, though. You do need something kind of just on in the background. Like I flipped on MLB Network today. Then they have like the 30 clubs in 30 days, which I love. It's like my favorite thing
Yep.
they do every year. So just having that ambient noise and just like seeing just Greg Amsinger out of the corner of my eye every day. Well, just like that's all I
Yeah.
need.
It's the best. It's the best.
I wanted to start with the biggest and probably the most important Orioles news of the offseason. And I'm dying to get your take about this. The giant scoreboard. Have you had a chance to wrap your mind around how big that thing is?
Yeah, it looks it's as big as promised. I mean, the renderings, it looks pretty much exactly like that. I got somebody in the warehouse sent me a picture before, like there was like a picture last week. Somebody, my buddy had sent me a picture and was like, "Hey, take a look at this." And it was cool because I could see down and like looking down like onto the like where they taken the seats out and like the bar and all that stuff. And I was like, "Oh, this thing looks massive." And like the full board wasn't even up. Like there were still like some of the top, I don't know, the top maybe 5 feet wasn't put in yet. And he was like, "Don't worry, like it's gonna get filled in, but like, what do you think?" And I was like, "That thing is." They said it was gonna be big, and it's big. It's a monster. So I liked like if you can picture it, I liked that green like steel, the like cross framing or stitching or whatever you want to call it. I like that on the outside. I'm a little sad that it's not going to be there. I just liked it from the aesthetics view. Like I thought it looked cool. I thought it I don't know, it felt like Camden Yards, but I again the new board is going to be awesome, but little stuff like that, I was like, "Oh, I'm going to be sad to see that go away." Like I always like seeing that. I don't know, it just reminds me of Camden Yards and the warehouse and all that. But yeah, the big screen looks great. I'm gonna win. I mean, I have no excuse not to win every hot dog race, crab shuffle, all that stuff. Guess the year, name that tune, all that stuff. So it's gonna be very clear and all that, and I'm excited to see it on opening day.
I'm just concerned about like how bright it's going to be. Like I hope it's not like jarringly bright where like if you're sitting like you're just going to be blinded by it if you got like a corner of it. Um
Yeah, those are kind of champagne problems. Like, oh my God, my massive TV is too bright, you
yep, I
know?
think that's it.
Oh no, but yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you, and I'm usually like, if I go to a game, if I'm buying tickets, I usually sit in center field, so I'm usually like, what year is that? Like, what are they showing up there? Something like that. But at least now, again, hopefully it'll be bright enough where you can see it and the quality, the and all that stuff. But yeah, I'm interested to see like a night game, and if they flash something up, how bright it lights up the entire stadium and the surrounding area. So yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty bright. So bring your glasses and
Yep.
shield your eyes if needed.
It's like Kramer's apartment. It's just blind. Just opens the door and it's just blind.
Yeah, like, you're getting your food. You're coming out from one of the tunnels, and it's just like, oh, what's going on in there? That's exactly what it's gonna be like.
You made a good point though that on X on Orioles Twitter we do get like one new photo a week, and it's like usually like somebody had to like Shawshank Redemption through a fence. Like, hey guys, look, here's a bootleg. It's like really grainy somehow, but yeah, we are just kind of drip fed these like stadium upgrade photos, and it's great.
Yeah, and again, especially with the snow, like I give me every picture of Camden Yards in the snow. Like I will take that. So I know Jacob Calvin Meyer tweeted some today. I forget who took the picture. I think it's one of the Sun. I think it's the Sun photographer, Kevin. I want to say like Kevin Richardson or something. I don't know, but he posted Twitter pictures of that. And again, like you just see the board and you see the snow, and it looks massive. But give me all the updates. I'll take updates on the ribbon boards, on the TV menus, and for the food. I want it all. I want every update I can get.
Darren Ravel saying what the new crab cake sandwich is going to be. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah,
Um,
feed it all to me.
the actual biggest news, I feel like the Orioles the last couple weeks, though, is Jordan Westburg, I think. The partially torn UCL. Somebody on Twitter was calling him Nolan Reimold, which I thought was mean. But it is starting to become a disturbing trend, though. It's like we can't get a full season. I think his max is like 107 games played is the most he's ever played. It's really sad. What do you think about just like the Orioles lineup without him, and like how big of a thing is it going to like not have him in the lineup this year?
I think it'll definitely be a thing. Again, I think the additions of Taylor Ward and Pete Alonso and some of the other guys obviously help mask that. But man, I mean, and again, it's such a completely different lineup and roster construction from last year, 2 years ago. Just adding again the Ward and Alonso and Basayo and all those guys. But man, I mean, we've seen what happens when he's out of the lineup and everything just kind of falls apart. He feels like the glue that keeps everything together. And same thing with the defense. Coby Mayo's looked much better at third. I know he had a throwing error today, but again, those things are going to happen. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely worried about it. Again, I think Pete and Taylor will help kind of hold the lineup together a little better, and still have the good at bats and professional at bats. But yeah, it sucks to see it. Again, year after year, just these little things kind of pop up, and then they kind of transform into bigger things. And obviously, I mean, the oblique is no slouch injury, and then it turns into, oh, by the way, he's had a bum elbow for a while, and the partially torn UCL, and it's going to be interesting to see. Sorry, how how the elbow responds to that PRP. I mean, I was talking with one of the reporters the other day. Like we've done this song and dance with the PRP rest, see what happens. Another PRP, and then it's like up Tommy John. But it's different with position players. Even going back to like when Matt Wieters had it, obviously he ended up getting the Tommy John. But I mean, Bradish made it what 8, 9, 10 starts or something like that when he ended up getting the PRP, and that's thousand plus throws when you're factoring in like bullpen, side work, all that stuff. So I think they're trying to think like, hey, if we can get 1,000 throws, 1,000 plays out of Jordan Westburg, in his elbow, if he can come back, and I say whenever he's fine and feels good to come back, wait another month. Just give him as much rest as possible. Again, just to I don't know, see if you can prolong this thing, because my theory is, and again, I'm not a doctor, it's going to tear at some point. I would assume it's going to tear. But again, we've seen guys like Harper go through it, and some of the other guys, and they're able to bounce back. I think they end up getting even the Tommy John. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting to keep an eye on it, and as much as it hurts them, this is Coby Mayo's time to shine, and some of these other guys. I mean, we love Westy, and we love when he's out there, but if he can't be out there, Coby Mayo, I mean, we've talked about it for a while, and like this is sink or swim time, and I think he's going to swim. He hit the ball hard today. He killed the ball in September, and I think now this is his like, hey guys, I got it. I'm good to go from here, and who knows what happens when Westbrook comes back too, if the elbow isn't right and they have to put him at second base, something like that. So I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, that's a massive injury that obviously none of us had penciled in, coming into the season. Nobody had heard anything about it until it popped up. So sucks for Jordan. And again, you hope that he can stay healthy going forward, and we'll kind of just take it from there.
I felt so good about this infield just like a month ago with Jackson
Mm.
Holiday and Westy and Gunnar and Pete Alonso. Like that's an incredible, like that's an all-star caliber across the board infield. And then to lose two out of those four guys, it's like the infield depth is really getting pushed to the limit here. I don't know if Blaze Alexander is gonna be any good, but man, that's a sweet name. That's
I
a
am I am high on Blaze. Take that. You can use that word pun or whatever, but I am very high on Blaze. Again, the people I've talked to down at camp are like, this guy's a ball player. Like this guy can play. Like he is good. So again, I mean, I think he had a higher WAR than Jackson last year. And again, not that that's everything, but I mean, again, originally it sounded like they got him because he can play center and he can play right and he can play third and he can play second and all that stuff. And now he's probably going to be your starting second baseman on opening day. But yeah, I'm excited to see his bat. I know the Orioles tweeted out that nice play he made at third the other day. I am high on Blaze. I want all the Blaze Alexander smoke. So he's going to be a fun guy, I think, to kind of follow along. And I was trying to think like 2014, we had Steve Pierce, that guy that you could kind of plug in anywhere. And I don't think he's going to have like he's not going to lead if he leads the Orioles in WAR like Pierce led that the 2014 team in WAR. I think something catastrophic has gone bad. No offense to Blaze, but I again with all the names, I think something bad has happened. Um, but I think he's going to have a hell of a year. And again, it's going to be like, I think he's going to show up to the ballpark every day, and Albie will be like, hey, do you want to play third day? Do you want to play second tomorrow? Do you want to play center? Do you want to play left? Do you want to catch? Do you want to play right? Do you want to pitch? Do you want to play first? Like, he could do the Buster Posey. Like, he's going to play all nine positions in a game at one point. So I think fans are going to really, really gravitate towards him too. So he seems like a very fun player.
He's what we always wanted Ryan Flaherty to be.
Yeah, and again, I listen. I love Ryan Flaherty. That is my guy. I am in the belief of if he got 400 at bats, he would have 20 home runs in a season. So, but again, I mean, you need those guys on the team, and people forget before the Delman double, Ryan Flaherty saved that game three with the double play started at a third base. So you need the guy who can play everywhere, and again, who has 15 different gloves and just shows up and is like, point to where you want me to go, and I'm going there. Like, and I'm gonna play my ass off for it. So I think Blaze is that kind of guy. And again, going back to like when the Orioles traded for him, I knew the name. I didn't know much about him, but every single Diamondbacks guy was like, "What the hell are we doing? Like, what he was going to start for us? Why are we trading him?" And that right away, I was like, "Okay, this could be something." And it wasn't like they were like, "Oh, thank God we don't have to watch a Blaze Alexander at bat this year." People were like legitimately pissed. So I was like, "Hey, that seems good enough for me." So I will gladly take that. So I'm high on Blaze.
The thing with the fans here were like, oh, we have to trade either Mountcastle or Mayo. Like, we can't have two of these guys, the exact same player. They're both right-handed power bats. We playing the like, be clogging the bench up, whatever. I'm so glad we held on to the Mayo. You got to hold the Mayo. That's what I've always said. Like, you're right. His September last year, where he hit like over 300. He's
Mhm.
a third baseman by trade, so like I'm hoping some of that muscle memory comes back and maybe the errors chill out. But even if not, like I'm hoping he's a bat first kind of guy. But like I'm so excited to watch a full season of Coby Mayo because we've had this conversation before. Like the way the Orioles have handled the development of prospects, they haven't done a great job outside of Gunnar and Adley, and those two have been like those two had like the unlimited playing time thing. But
Mhm.
are you just excited to like see like what Coby Mayo can finally do in like consistent weekly at bats?
Yeah, again, the consistency, that's the biggest thing. And you hear anybody talk about it, like what helps get a guy comfortable, consistent at bats, consistent at bats. And even like when you heard it like when they were like, well, yeah, some of the players where it's like, well, do they start on the opening day roster but sit on the bench, or do they go down do they go down to AAA and get every day at bats? And it's like if that's the case, I obviously want them to go to AAA and get the everyday at bats. But up here, Kobe's going to get those at bats now. So again, they're kind of forcing it now, being like, hey, we have to see what you have. Like there's no like, okay, we could start you at third one day and kind of tinker with you and have you DH and maybe play first. Like, no, I think third base is going to be his position to lose while half the infield is out. But yeah, I'm very excited. Again, I think he's going to come into camp, and again, not like I want a spot. And we've heard Westburg say this before about like I love all those guys in the clubhouse, but like at the end of the day, I want to play over every single one of them, and I want Kobe to have that mentality, and I think he does, being like, hey, listen, I love Jordan Westburg and I love these guys, and but guess what? I'm a damn good baseball player too. Like he has the 35 home run power. We've seen it. And again, if he can start the year like he finished the year last year, I mean that's going to be big for him. I think that September was huge for him. Again, the Orioles had nothing to play for, and he still went out and was smoking balls. He was hitting well. He was playing the field well. And again, I think that just shows the confidence and what happens when you get the consistent at bats. And you're getting three at bats a day, three at bats a day, four at bats a day, instead of being like, oh, you're going to get a pinch hit here and maybe play half the game, or like you're going to get three at bats and then sit and then sit and then sit and then get another four at bats and then sit and then sit and then play. It's there's too much of that. So yeah, I want them to kind of I want him in there every day. I want to see him in every spring training game, getting as many at bats as possible, just seeing every pitch. And again, nobody worked harder than Kobe last year, and you would see it. I mean, Matt Weirich and those guys, they'd come to the field and they're like, oh, there's Coby Mayo taking ground balls at first base. There he is. He's playing at third base. So the guy wants it. And again, he's going to play his ass off, and I'm very excited to see that. And I have all the faith in the world that he'll start hot. And again, I mean, if you can have a Coby Mayo in like 7-hole, 8-hole, something like that's nasty. Like that's a good lineup. So I'm hoping they can kind of hide him down there, and God forbid if a pitcher is just like, all right, I got through Alonso and Ward and Gunnar and Adley and Cowser. All right, now I can kind of take this at bat off. And it's like, no, brother, you can't, because that ball's going to go 400 feet if you try and take an at bat off with Coby Mayo. So I pray that happens. I hope it does. So yeah, I love the Mayo. Give me all the extra Mayo this year. I want it all.
Extra Mayo. Yeah, I also just like we've been burned so many times with this whole like mindset of like, oh well, we should probably just cut bait and trade him. Like I'm tired of trading our good guys and watching them go to teams like the Marlins or like the Pirates or like some other team that just has all these opportunities and watch them turn into all-stars. So it's like, no, we're going to build a wall around Coby Mayo and he's not leaving. Heston, on the other hand, I've seen like, I think he had a homer the other day. Heston has been another thing we've talked a lot about on this podcast. Like there isn't a clear opportunity for him at the big league level this year, but what do you see? Like, what does the future hold for Heston in your mind?
I think if he's healthy, I mean, again, because that right field spot, you're going to have O'Neill if healthy. You're going to have Beavers. You're going to have Kjerstad. And then, there's some of these other guys. I mean, they've even talked about putting Mayo there. But, man, if Kjerstad could stay healthy, like I was saying it on our podcast the other day, I think it was with Jacob. And I was just like, I dare Heston Kjerstad to make this like a conversation. Like, make it so they have to trade someone. If it's Beavers, it's Beavers. If it's Heston, it's Heston. If something, and I obviously like odds are someone else is going to get hurt, and we know Tyler O'Neill is not going to play a full 162, and I don't think anybody of us if Tyler O'Neill plays 130 games, I think we're all happy, but he's going to get dinged up and he's going to miss a couple weeks, or he's going to hit the IL a couple times, and that's perfectly fine because of the depth they have. But man, if he could, I think if they can get 40 to 45 home runs from right field between O'Neill, Kjerstad, and Beavers, I don't care how you cut that up or split it up. I think they're going to be in the playoff. I think they're going to be in a good spot. I'll say that. But yeah, I mean, I'm rooting for the kid. Again, the stuff that he's gone through, and again, like we see these guys get hurt, and a lot of the times it's like, oh, it's their fault. Or I don't know, they do something, they slide or they run into the wall or something like that, or dive head first, and it's like, that's being a hard ball player, but like that's preventable. None of Heston's injuries are his fault. The COVID, the myocarditis in his heart, getting Clay Holmes trying to put 98 through his ear hole, the guy falling down on him, and then whatever he went through last year, like. These are all things that you're like, when is he ever going to catch a break? And again, he's hitting the hell out of the ball in spring. And again, man, if he could stay healthy, what a fun thing that this can be. Like, imagine being like, well, we can't start Dylan Beavers because Heston Kjerstad's hitting 650 over the last week and has 3 home runs. And like, we want to put Tyler O'Neill in, but Heston Kjerstad was the AL Player of the Week last week. Like, it's a great problem to have. And going back to your point, like this is why you hold on to these guys, because you never know what's going to happen. And just because the guy gets hurt a couple times, like you're not going to get rid of, it's like baseball, you have the luxury to hold on to these guys and put them on the IL and let them sit. But yeah, I mean, Heston, I'm hoping and praying that he can have a good year and hit 270 with 15 home runs this year. Like we would all be over the moon happy if that happened. I mean, when we saw him before he got hit in the head, he was one of the best hitters in the AL at that time, and he he had the grand slam against the Rangers that I retweeted the other night. Like he has I mean, we've seen it. He's the number 2 pick in the draft for a reason. Like this guy is a very good baseball player, and I believe that he still has that somewhere deep down inside. So just the fact that his confidence hasn't been completely crushed. Like me, again, I get sick and I'm like, I'm done. I'm toast. Like you might as well put me out now. But again, him to just keep coming back, like good for him. I don't think there's anybody easier to root for in baseball right now than Heston. So I would love if he's out there. If he could play 120 games a year, that would be great. A great lefty bat off the bench or start, whenever they need him.
What really blew my mind as I was looking at this, I was like, oh, wow, Heston in my mind is perpetually like 23 years old. I looked, he's 27.
27, yeah.
6 years, like the 2020 draft, they drafted him, like you said, like second overall. I saw this stat, I was doing some research, it's like he's never played more than 3 games in a row at the major league level. That also blew my mind.
Hmm.
This poor guy, like he's going to be 30 years old soon. Never really gotten a chance. I don't know what his career high in games played is. I could probably pull it up, but it's probably like 40 something. Like
Hmm.
he's just never had that runway to see like who he is and who he can be as a big leaguer. And it sucks. I don't know. Like, are you pull out
Yeah, I
Heston
was gonna say
Kjerstad?
I'm pulling it up now.
I'm gonna guess 40 something.
Yeah, this is why is this is
They changed
college?
baseball reference on us, by the way. That
Yeah,
also
I
pissed
know
me off.
they switched it up, but why? Yeah, it sent me to his college one. I don't want college in the.
Yeah, nothing's ever intuitive when you try to look stuff up.
Where is it? Where is it? Career games played. Yeah, I mean here, 2023 he played 13 games. 2024 he played 39 games. 2025 he played in 54 games. So
Okay.
he's played his major league career. He's had 106 games played, 285 at bats, and he has 10 home runs, 36 RBIs. So.
Heston. That's
But again, like I said, a lot of it is, he's cut down and, when he's feeling good or when he's hitting well, it's like, oh, no, guess what? I'm going to try and put 98 through your ear hole, bud. Sorry about that. So
sorry about it.
it's stuff that's never his fault and it sucks.
Do you worry though about because we just mentioned all the outfielders on the roster, not to mention like Leody Taveras is on the roster as well. Do you worry about like the outfield and just like Dylan Beavers' development, or do you think that's not going to be an issue with him? He's going to have a longer leash, more playing time than the rest of them.
Yeah, I think so. Again, I think he's going to force their hand. I mean, I don't think anybody walked more in baseball than Beavers after he came up. If you can get on base, you're going to play. Like it's just that's pretty much that's an unwritten rule. You're going to play. Again, especially somebody young like that. And again, Heston's had some stuff where in the field he doesn't look great, and he even when he caught a fly ball on Friday, and my buddy just sent me a text and was like, he looks like a giraffe out there still catching fly balls.
Oh
But
no.
no, yeah, I think Beavers is going to have. I would think Beavers has a leg up on Heston right now. Again, there's also the DH spot that they can. Again, I mean, this roster just has so many guys. Like DH is maybe a possibility when Basayo's not playing there, or Mountcastle, or Mayo, or O'Neill, or Alonso, or any one of these guys. But yeah, I don't. I mean, someone's going to have to start the year in the minors. I think just off the top of my head, I think it's going to be Heston because I believe he still has options and you can bring him up and down. I know obviously Cowser does and Beavers too. But again, I think that I think they have to be very careful with Heston just because again, you know the shelf life and the injuries are going to happen to him probably too. You just don't know when or what it's going to be. But yeah, I mean, I think Beavers kind of like in my mind, I'm thinking it's going to be Taylor Ward in left field. And again, maybe you can do you say there's a righty on the mound, and you can do a Beavers in left, Cowser in center, Kjerstad in right if you want to. You can throw out all lefties until they bring in, until Aroldis Chapman comes in and faces those guys, and it's like, nope, get them all out. We need all righties in, or something like that. So they have a lot of possibilities. But yeah, I think Beavers earned that playing time again. I mean, he played well when he came up, and I mean, hell, I hadn't even, I didn't even get a chance to look at the field before he hit the walk off in the last game of the year last year. We were up at Center Field Bar, and I turned around and said something. And turned back. I was like, oh, season's over now. Like, okay, and then there it is. But again, I'm very high on Beavers too. I'm chomping at the bit for him to see what he can do in a full season. I think he's gonna be a very fun player. He's almost just like another Nick Markakis all over again. So I'm pumped for him.
That's the best. I was looking at like some of like the prospect stuff though, and it's like they have done a better job recently of like trying to replenish like the infield, middle infield depth because so many of them are already in the big leagues or gone. But most of them are outfielders. We're just so outfield heavy. Like Enrique Bradfield Jr. will be up here soon, patrolling center. Like, I mean, he'll probably be up at some point this year. So it's like there's not a ton going back to what we were talking about Coby Mayo. It's like there's not a ton outside of him. I was really hoping they'd bring our guy Ramon Arias back, but he's still on free agency for some reason. Don't understand that.
The no, Cardinals signed him. Cardinals signed him Monday, I think. Yesterday, Sunday or Monday, something like that. It was like 1 year, $2 million deal or something like that. But
That's him.
yeah, again, I think if they didn't trade for Blaze, I think Ramon would have been back here. But Blaze is just an upgraded version of Ramon. So I want him to go somewhere. He can. I want him to go get his playing time, and hopefully he'll have a nice role there in St. Louis for Ramon.
He's at a farm upstate. He's in a better place.
Yeah, right.
We have to talk about Pete Alonso just because it has been it's been so refreshing seeing a player like him come into Baltimore. Obviously, like we don't get that many like high ticket profile like free agents signing with this organization, but after that and just watching them, just watching the way he goes about his business, the way his at bats, like his first game at spring training, he demanded to take a third at bat, hits a home run. I wanted to start though, but just like, have you seen the discourse on Twitter with Mets fans and him recently? And like, do you think that they should have really taken into account Darryl Strawberry's opinion?
I don't know. I mean, like that, I tweeted today. I was like, is Pete Alonso the first player to ever leave the Mets in free agency? Like, I just don't understand like what's going on. And I think it's because the Mets fans loved him so much. And it's not even really the Mets fans. It's more like the media, like the New York Post. And it's like he was on the back page of the New York Post like yesterday. And it's like he signed 2 months ago. Like he signed in December, right? December, yeah, I think it was December. So it's like he signed 2 months ago. It's almost the end of February. Like why now? Like why didn't Darryl Strawberry say this two months ago? Like I don't. I guess maybe it's because he had a mic in front of him now. But yeah, I don't. I look at it as like that they are so mad that he left that they're still just harping over it and they're still upset and that's why. But like I get that, but it's like I don't know, give it a break, guys. Like this just I mean it does kind of remind me like I'll still talk about Manny all the time and that's the different because they traded him. But yeah, it's just like I don't know, man. I like you guys have a baseball team too. Like you guys are going to be really good. Just worry about your team. Like it's not like you went to the Yankees. It's not like you went to the Phillies. You didn't go to the it's like he's going to a team that you're going to play 3 times. Like just get over it. I don't know. Like again like the whole like the Mets never offered him a deal this year. This year they didn't. Obviously last year they offered him a deal and he took the what is it the 2 year deal with the second year option and all that. But I don't know. Get over it. I don't. He's here. Like this is done. There's nothing to talk about now. So yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping that it stops and it just goes away because I'm tired of seeing it already.
Darryl Strawberry, for people who don't know what we're talking about, he said Pete Alonso will regret leaving the Mets for the Orioles. Just a wild take. But yeah, like that was something that I tweeted out too, because I was like, wow, I still can't believe the Mets let him go. And I had people being like, no, he chose to leave. Like the Mets offered him all these contracts. Well, if you look, it's like 2023, they offered him 7 for 158 in the middle of the year. First of all, middle of the year. That's not enough. That's like 21, I think, a year. That's or 22. Then they offer him 3 for 70. Like that's the money's better, but the years is way too low. He never would have taken that. And then of course they got him for the 2 year with the opt out, so it ended up being 30 for one. But yeah, and then like you said, they didn't offer him a contract this winter, so it's like they didn't want him, which still blows my mind. Like, what's the point of having an owner that's a gazillionaire who's like a fan if like you don't open the checkbook for the homegrown franchise home run leader? That still doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, again, if I don't know if they want him to be a Met, I feel like he would have been a Met. I think that's what it comes down.
First game of the year in spring, hits a home run. I think he has two already in the spring. I've just been loving like the videos of him sitting on the top step of the dugout, like chatting it up with the guys, like giving feedback, being a leader. Like, what have you liked so far for Pete Alonso? And like, how excited are you to watch him play again? Because he played all of them last year, like every single game this year.
Yeah, that what you just said, like being the leader, sitting on the top step and talking to. They were like, it's not like he was just talking to Gunnar and Adley and Colton. They were like he was talking to the fifth guy off the bench who is going to be selling insurance in like 5 years, 4 years, whatever. Like it doesn't matter. He's telling everybody like, hey, here's what to look for. Here's what you should do. I mean, I was obsessed with the videos from early on in camp, chirping it up and just giving it to oh that's a knock that no, they don't play there and all that stuff like that's what you need and again I mean going if you've ever played on a team that kind of stuff is contagious and whether it's softball or college or high school ball like that stuff is contagious and it gets people loose and going and it helps so much so the fact that this could not have started out any better for him and again hopefully he stays healthy and hits 45 plus and we're good to go from there. So I'm very excited.
Okay, the last thing I want to get your take on was the state of the Orioles rotation, because I think it's a fascinating storyline this season. First of all, I've been obsessed with going to Fangraph's depth chart, just checking it out every day, and it's like we got 6 guys for 5 spots. What is your read on the state of the rotation this year? Who do you think is going to be the guy that gets 30 starts out of this group, or if there's multiple?
Yeah, I'm hoping multiple. I'm hoping I was thinking of a number and I was like, I think if they can get like 110 starts from like Bradish, Rogers, Kramer, and Boz, I think they're going to be in a really good spot. But yeah, I mean, I would hope that we see 30 from Rogers and Bradish, and obviously we know what Kramer's going to do at the bottom end. You need some ability at the bottom end, and Dean Kramer is that. But yeah, I'm hoping. I mean, hell, I know. Again, people are going to get hurt. I don't expect to see Eflin get anywhere near there because I hope he starts out in AAA just again to give him more time to kind of and see where he can go. But yeah, I'm hoping for a lot of starts from all those guys. So selfishly, I know that, but yeah, that's and again Bassett, I would be okay if they kind of slow play Bassett at first as well. So
I've actually come around on Bassett because like I just had flashbacks when they signed him like late in the spring. I was like, this is Charlie Morton. He's old. Like we're gonna have like a 10 ERA in the month of April again, and it's but I've watched his like live ABs and stuff that we keep seeing tweeted out where it's like he's striking out Pete Alonso and he's K'ing guys up, and I'm like, I could see Bassett being like one of the rocks of the rotation. Give me a high threes ERA and 30 starts or something. That would be insane.
yeah, people like to throw the like Morton, Lyles, Gibson comp around for him, and I don't think it's anywhere close. Like this guy has been one of the best pitchers in baseball for the last handful of years, and he's the most consistent guy. He takes the ball every 5 days. Like he's still up there. And again, his people were like, oh well, his velo's down. You look at his baseball savant page. I think he throws 8 different pitches. Like he's not just a thrower. Like this guy is a straight up pitcher. So, again, had no problem coming out of the bullpen for the Blue Jays last year, getting big outs in the playoffs and the World Series. So he's almost like a Pete Alonso for the pitching rotation. Like you need a guy like that, and they got a perfect guy. So I think I would rather have given him 1 for 18 than Gallen 1 for 21 or whatever he got. And I know he was looking for higher numbers, but yeah, I would take Bassett over Gallen. But I am excited to see what he can do in this rotation, kind of help these young guys and see where he can take them. So he's a nasty dude. He's a bulldog. He's gonna be so much fun to watch.
It does seem like that Orioles came into this winter with like a very like a checklist, and I feel like they've checked almost every single thing off. Like they went out and spent money on Alonso and Bassett. And they went out and traded, granted, a lot of people for Shane Baz, and they got Helsley. We haven't even talked, but like the bullpen is going to be a lot better because of him and Kittredge and stuff. So it's like, have you been like impressed with the way that Mike Elias has run the offseason this winter compared to last winter?
Yeah, again, I'm right there with you. It feels like they had a checklist. They wanted the big right-handed middle of the order bat. Okay, got that. You needed a closer because Felix is probably gone for the year. Yep, you got that. You need a good setup guy. Yep, you got Kittredge back. Like again, you needed, and again they flirted with the sexy aces with Framber and Ranger and all that stuff. And again, from what I was told, they had the same offer that the Red Sox did to Ranger, and he chose to go elsewhere. That's perfectly fine. Would the ace have been nice? Yes, but I mean, tell me you're not excited about a Bradish, Rogers, Boz 1, 2, 3. Like that's a very good top of the rotation. So, they didn't improve. They didn't get, like I said, they didn't make the big splash with the rotation, but they tell me I mean, this year's rotation is much better than last year's. When the guy who started opening day for you last year is like, oh, maybe he'll be six or maybe the bullpen. Like, yeah, things are looking a lot better. And again, it all just depends on them staying healthy and all that. So yeah, I think they definitely had a checklist. Get a veteran outfielder who doesn't need all the consistent at bats. They got Leody Taveras. They have all these pieces. So yeah, I'm excited for it. I think the offseason I think it was an A. They went out and they helped. I think on paper they are a much better team than they were last year, and I think they put themselves in great position. I would still like a little bit of bullpen help, but I'm excited at the possibilities of a Chase McDermott and Trey Gibson and these guys who we were seeing kind of in camp now. What did they say? What did the banner? I think Andy wrote the article on the death ball. Is that what it's called? Yeah.
Trey Gibson.
Yeah, give me the death ball coming out of the bullpen in like the 6th or 7th inning. Like that's awesome. And again, like the healthy rotation and these guys, like if the rotation stays healthy and they all do what they're supposed to do, the bullpen isn't going to need. You're not going to need a 6th through 9th inning guy. Like these guys are going to go deep into the pen, and you're going to see that spread, and it's going to help the bullpen so much more. So yeah, I really liked what Mike did in the offseason, and I like that he didn't overpay for somebody that they didn't love. And I feel like that's what was going on with Framber and Ranger. Like they could have thrown $200 million at both of them and been like, okay, we have that now. And we have two big love. Because again, if say the Alonso contract goes bad and the Framber contract goes bad, that is going to handcuff the team for a long time. So again, I feel like They liked those guys. They didn't love them, but they still had a great, offseason, I think. And getting Boz was a great move. And again, getting Taylor Ward for Grayson, we'll see how that works out. I think that's going to be a good one. But yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to sit here and complain on February 24th. Like, I wish the Orioles could have done a little bit more in the offseason. Like we've been sitting here the last couple of years saying like, yeah, that would have been nice, but there's still some stuff to be desired. No, I think they did it all this offseason, so I'm excited at what they did. So shout out to Pobo Mike, President of Baseball Operations.
That's such a great point. Like, also, just like I feel like Shane Baz was my X factor for this whole team because, like, if Shane Baz pitches like he did a couple years ago in that second half in Tampa, where he didn't have a 5 ERA like he did last year, I watched a lot of Rays games this past year, and the dude got demolished at Steinbrenner Field. I had to I was like, what is it? At home last year, his ERA was 6, so it was 3.8 on the road. I think if Shane Bott, yeah,
sorry, I think they said he gave up like 18 home runs at Steinbrenner last year, and like 6 of them were in one game to the Yankees. So again, it's like, yeah, it looks bad, but he was also playing outside in like what am I, like a greenhouse? It's like it was a sandbox and it was hot as hell. Like it's all right, like he'll be fine. So.
Yeah, get him out of a little league park and into it like an actual like Major League Baseball place that has like an actual field dimensions and stuff. Yeah, I'm excited to watch Shane Bott. Like, yeah, he was healthy all of last year, so that was a big plus for him. I think he does have that like top of the rotation potential. So I'm excited to see a full year out of him, definitely. All right, the last couple of things I had were just kind of like around baseball because like I feel like you and I are so locked in of like refreshing Twitter every 5 seconds. So like we have our finger on the pulse of basically the whole league, which is why I wanted to get your take on a couple things. The first was Luis Arraez. So first of all, he's been a topic of conversation for years now, just because he's like watching like a 1920s baseball player, just slaps the ball, doesn't strike out. Have you seen on Twitter where it's like screenshots of the MLB Game Day app where it's like Arraez is a bats? It's like 2 called strikes and a ground out that on a pitch that's like out of the strike zone.
Yep.
This guy is incredible. I'm addicted to this.
Yeah, he is like a very old school, like he's gonna choke up on the bat and he's just gonna put bat on ball and he's gonna be on first base. Like I'm looking at his baseball reference page now. I mean, 181 hits last year. He had 30 doubles. That's a little more than I thought. 8 triples or 4 triples, 8 home runs. So again, like his extra base hits are fine, but he's gonna hit a single, and that's good. You want your guys to get on base. The whole like well, he's slugging isn't this and blah blah blah. And it's like. If he can bat 310, like when is getting hits bad? Like I that's where it's like, have we gone that far on analytics where it's like actually getting on base and hitting a single is bad? It's like, no, that's actually the goal. Like you need a guy in your lineup to do that. So again, if people are complaining about a guy putting up a 181, 181 hits in 154 games, I'm okay with that. Like I would take that any day. You need those guys. Not everyone's going to be a big time bopper, but it is funny because again, he goes up there and it's like, I know what I'm going to do, and I know how this at bat is going to go. And, like, you'll even see it. He just sits the bat right on his shoulder. Like, I'm not – you could put it on a tee, and I'm not going to swing at it. Like, I'm just not. And he'll, choke up, and he'll slap one the other way, and he'll go from there. So he would have been like a Hall of Famer if he played in, like, the 40s. And we would have been like, oh, my God, this Luis Arraez. Like, you'd be watching the black and white screen of him just, like, his little legs, like, twiddling to first base. And you'd be like, wow, what a great hitter he was. And now it's like, this guy stinks. Get him off my team. All right.
The funniest part about him though is like every year he's worth like exactly 1 WAR. It's like he could win the batting title. He could have 200 hits, and it's like Baseball Reference WAR is exactly 1 on the dot.
1.2 last year. So yeah, it's like a 1.2 WAR in 154 games.
Not valuable.
That's fine. I'm okay with that though. Like put him in the 9 hole and just let him hit there. That's fine.
My favorite one was like somebody tweeted, they're like, I didn't even watch the end of this video, but I guarantee he grounded out to shortstop, and that's exactly what he did. So. Yeah. Giants fans, get ready, man. It's gonna be a hell of a ride. It's gonna be, yeah.
I know he's not great at defense, and that's where it's like, all right, now I get that you can't really waste a DH spot on like a guy who's just gonna hit singles. That I fully understand, but yeah, again, sometimes you need a nice slap singles hitter. Like it's perfectly okay,
I would be frustrated if he was on our team, but since he's not, I think it's great. I'm enjoying the ride from a distance.
Oh yeah. I don't really want any part of that again, especially with like the way this roster is constructed. But
Can you imagine? Yeah,
it is fun to watch from the outside looking in.
He's clogging the DH spot, hitting singles and grounding out.
Exactly. So, but yeah, it's all right.
The other one I wanted to ask you about was just like Tarik Skubal. Is it Tarik or Tarik?
I
think
just
it's
call him
Tarik.
Skubal because I don't know. I think it's Tarik.
I think it might
I
be
think it's
Tarik.
Tarik. That's what I
I've gotten
say.
in trouble for like butchering just like Sandy Alcantara. It's like that's not how you say it. Um, at any rate, his case this winter has been fascinating. Between first of all the arbitration where the team was 13 mil off and then they lost it to had to give him 32, which I thought was hilarious. But
Mhm.
what has been your take on just like he's going to be in the World Baseball Classic? Great, love that. For exactly one start against Great Britain in pool play, and then he has to leave because he wants to focus on this season. What is the point of him even going then?
I mean, it reeks of Boris. And again, I get it. Like, I fully understand. He doesn't want him to get hurt. He's just as likely, I think, to get hurt in a spring training game or in a, on the backfield somewhere. And but I get it. I get optically it's going to play much better. And again, I hope this doesn't happen, but like it's going to play much better if he gets hurt in the season as opposed to if he gets hurt in the World Baseball Classic. And then people are like, "Oh my God, how could Scott Boras like no big name player would ever play in the World Baseball Classic again if that happened." Again, I mean, we saw what happened to Diaz and the uproar over that, being like, "How do you play in this meaningless tournament?" Um, so I get it, and again, I get Boris is going to be like, "I know you want to play." And all that, and you're going to go play, go start 2 innings again. It's going to probably be like a spring training start, like two up. He's going to get 2 innings in, and he'll go to the dugout, and that'll be it. Um, it's whatever to me. If like if because I think they kind of have. I think you can have like an unlimited roster kind of like. It's not like he's taking up a spot. And again, it's at the end of the day, it's the World Baseball Classic. Like I get it. It would be great to win it, but like if I'm a Tiger fan, I'm like I don't really want him to play. Like I didn't want Pete Alonso to play, and I'm happy he's not selfishly because I'm going to spring training next week, and I'm like. I don't want to miss Gunnar and Pete Alonso. So like same thing. I'm like, I hope Trevor Rogers doesn't pitch. Like I want to see him, stuff like that. But I don't know. I mean, it's whatever to me. I obviously understand where it's coming from, and like I said, he's going to be the most sought after pitcher free agent in I can't remember if you want to call Otani the pitcher. I don't consider that, but I don't know. I mean, I fully understand where they're coming from in his camp and all that. And again, with it being Scott Boras, I fully get it, and like you kind of knew that was going to happen. But yeah, I think it was Justin Havens, who's the producer on Baseball is Dead, and he was like, I don't know if they're confused. Like Great Britain isn't great. Like we don't need him for that start. Like get him to Dominican Republic. He's like, they're not
Yeah.
even good Britain. They're bad. He's like, they're bad Britain. So he's like, I don't want to see him against them, but like give me 2 innings and against the Dominican Republic or something. But I don't know. It's I think this is gonna be more. We're gonna see a lot of this. Due to like the insurance stuff we saw. How annoying was that this year waiting on like this guy wants to play, but he can't because they can't find anyone to get cover insurance. And like Bad Bunny wants to cover insurance for Carlos Correa and
Yep.
Francisco Lindor. And it's like, you let the guys play, man. Like it's just this stuff has gotten so out of hand. But I figured it would get to the point like this eventually. But like you're never gonna see the Mike Trout versus Shohei at the end of the thing because again you're gonna be like, well, actually, this guy's on a pitch count, so we can't have him go. And it's like whatever, man. Just let's just take I'll take everybody's safety vests off and seat belts and stuff like that. But yeah, it was kind of annoying, but I don't know. He wants to pitch in it, so that'll be cool that he can say he pitched in it, and hopefully he stays healthy, and we don't have to hear about like, well, this is all the World Baseball Classic's fault that Skubal's out for the year now or something like that. Guy could get hit by a bus getting up, tomorrow.
Yep.
I hope he doesn't. Again, I'm not condoning that. I hope he doesn't get hit by a bus. But I feel like he has just as much chance to get hurt warming up, tomorrow for a start than he does in the World Baseball Classic. So I don't know. We'll see.
Could step in a pothole like Ubaldo Jimenez, hurt himself that way. So like
Really
you
great.
could anytime you leave the house.
Especially after the snow with that salt, man. It eats away at the roads. The potholes, they're out, so be careful.
First $400 million pitcher they're theorizing for Skubal this winter. So yeah, it makes sense. But yeah, can you just like use if you gotta have one bullet, can you use it in like you said, against the Dominican or Japan or some other like a higher pro? Like I don't want to see him like strike out Harry Ford and then be like walk off into the sunset and like
Hey,
even if they get to like the championship round, he's like made it very clear. He's like, I'm not coming back. You're getting me for this long. Versus the stark contrast I thought was hilarious was like I feel like Paul Skeens is going to pitch until his arm falls off in this tournament. He's like, I want the ball every game. I don't care about rest. I'm
mhm.
Captain America, and I'm going to put the team on my back. So I thought that was a fun little side by side.
Yeah, and again, I get it, but I also understand that like, well, Paul Skeens is still X amount of years away from free agency as opposed
Yeah.
to Tarik Skubal again, who was like, I can smell 500 million. I'm so close to it. Like, dude, we're 6 months away from $500 million guaranteed. Like, let's make sure that that is still a thing, you know. And he
Yeah.
doesn't end up with like, oh, 300 or something like that, you know. So
The last thing I want to get your take on is, guys, we're big social media guys. Is like it's not often you see a baseball team social media just like go on a generational run of like creative, unique, fun content. But the Milwaukee Brewers have been on a heater recently. Started with the GTA video with Sal Frelick, which is we got that before GTA 6, but the new one with Jacob Mizorowski throwing like a fastball and knocking an apple off a guy's head. Like, have you seen anything like this for baseball social media?
not baseball, but that video, because it's obviously fake. There's no way they're letting the Miz throw 100 at a guy's back of his head. But it reminds me of the fantasy files from NFL. Like, I don't know if you remember those, where like this is probably like it was like who was it? It was Chris Cooley. There were a couple of the other guys. Look up fantasy files on YouTube when you're done here. But like it was like pick me or draft me, and I'm gonna show you why. And like they had Chris Cooley standing in like a house in the middle of nowhere that was getting built, and there was like drywall here, and he's standing behind it like this, and there's a guy on the other end on the other side of the drywall, like 10 feet away. And he's like, all right, throw it now. And the guy throws the ball, and Chris Cooley punches through the drywall and catches it on the other side. And then he tosses the ball and he's like, pick me. So it was like a whole, and it's obviously all fake, but it looked great. Like it's the Michael Vick throwing the ball in the Powerade commercial out of the stadium. It looks great again. The Milwaukee people have been awesome, and I love that it's like a thing now all around social media. Like the different teams in different leagues and stuff like that. Like the Orioles people do a great job. The Tigers people have done a great job. Like teams are getting so much better with this stuff, and they're using it as like an actual like a recruiting tool and just a tool to, again, like it helps. I don't know, it helps you learn the players and get the you feel like you know them more, and it's just fun content. Like I hate the people who like poo poo on stuff like that. Like the Orioles put out today or yesterday, like who has the best hair, and you'll see comments from people being like, who cares, give me an ace and then I'll care. It's like, shut the hell up. Like you act like Michael Elias is sitting there typing. Like you act like he's filming this video. Like the people behind this video have nothing to do with it. But I know that like the people spend all this time, working their ass off to like make these cool videos and fun videos and stuff like that. But yeah, I love seeing the Milwaukee one, them come out. And I'm sure if this is what they're doing in spring training, I can only imagine what they're gonna do like during the regular season and the stuff that they're gonna do like when they win another like 16 games in a row or whatever.
They're a fun one. I've been following them for a while. They've done like so many creative things with like cameras and stuff around like Miller Park or whatever
Yeah,
guarantee. No, I
family.
don't even know.
Yeah, I don't
American
know.
Family Field. That feels right.
I think so. I drove by it for the first time this summer. It is ugly from the outside. We drove by and I was like, "Ew, that's what it looks like." Like it's weird, but yeah, it seems fun inside, but the outside there's no personality to it. But American Family Rate Guaranteed Central
Yep.
Park or something. We'll call it that.
Sure. Yeah. It's so they're a fun one. So if you haven't, I mean, this is hopefully open people up to following. I love following random small team social media accounts.
Hmm.
I think it's just like sometimes you get the most creative stuff out of the smaller market teams because like I mean, what are the Yankees would never have made a video like anything like this.
No, no. But yeah, I'm with you. I'll see when I'm like, you know what? You have earned a follow from me. Colleges too. I do a lot with like a lot of college. Wake Forest. I don't know if you follow Wake Forest baseball.
Love
They're
Wake Forest.
great. Like I'm scrolling on TikTok today, and they were just showing their guys like warming up and just playing Olivia Dean, like Man I Need. And I was like, this is good. Like this is a good video. This is a fun video. And I was like, you know what? You're gonna earn a follow from me. So yeah, the smaller places and smaller markets. I feel like they do let them have a little more free reign of stuff to post and like yeah, no one's gonna see this. I don't care who posted anyway, And next thing you know, it blows up and they have like 500,000 likes on it, and some old guy in an office is like, we have how many views on this on what platform? So
Yep.
yeah, I'm a big fan of the creative people having fun. And like again, I've said it about the Orioles, like I love when a team is as good on Twitter and social media as a team is on the field. Like I think that makes the season so much more enjoyable, like being like I can't wait to see what they're going to tweet here. Like I know they're going to have some fire for that. So yeah,
It
good
was
good on the Brewers, and shout out to the people behind there. I hope, because again, you still get to people being like, what intern did this? And it's like, these aren't interns anymore. Like, what, like, these are people, this is a fully paid job. Like, this is a full year-round job. Like, it's not some intern who's like, I can't wait for my college credits for this one. Like, it's a full thing now. It's a massive department. So yeah, I love it. I love it all. I'm obsessed with it all. So good for them.
Those did a very good job with creative uses for video like edits. They do very like even this winter, like I felt like where there's like a lack of content because there's no news coming out. They'd be like, "Hey, here's a Brian Roberts edit," and I'd be like, "Whoa, this is the coolest thing ever! Why aren't we doing this the whole time? It's just
Yeah.
nostalgia porn."
Madison, Johnny, there's a bunch of them for the Orioles. They're they're the videographers. They're not video, I guess so. But yeah, they kill it. Like oh my God, I love it. And I like look in the caption or I'll look in the comments on Instagram and they're like, oh my God, they cooked again. Somebody
Yep.
cooked. So yeah, again, I like that those people are getting shine. Like I thoroughly enjoy their content, and I think I don't know. You give people their flowers. I very much enjoy giving people like that their
Yeah.
flowers because, again, nobody is ever like, and shout out to the photographer because that was a great picture. I like when people are like, hey, I want to know who took that picture, and I think they deserve their shine. So I like doing that.
It's the best. Yeah, I like this whole like arms race for like like team social media. It's a lot. There's a lot more to it than just like asking people with like a mic in their face, just like what your favorite color is or whatever. It's
Oh
like there's a
yeah,
lot.
and so much stuff goes into it, like the behind the scene. I don't know. My favorite, like I like the Eagles did it and they were like showing them a picture from like their MySpace
Yep.
profile and
Yep.
stuff like that. Or like I like the calling the players by their middle name or their full name and it catches like everyone off guard. Like the NBA guys, people do it a lot. There's a lot of good stuff going on across all the sports. So it's a good time for like fun, creative social media departments and people. So it's awesome that those people get to shine.
It gets a retweet every time I see it. But
Mhm.
dude, this has been incredible. I think that was a very good way to wrap this up. A lot of good Orioles preview this time. I'm sure I'll be hit you up at some point during the season to talk a little bit more about when Coby Mayo is like AL Player of the Month, or like when Kyle Bradish twirls a jet. Like, we'll have a lot more ongoing discussions as time goes on. But I really appreciate of your time tonight, and yeah, we'll do this again soon.
I'm sure we'll link up at a game sometime soon. I always like getting the text like, "Are you here?" And I'm like, "Yep, here I am.
Yep.
I'm up at the bar.
Saturdays,
Come on
man.
up."
I'm there most Saturdays.
Yep, yep, yeah. So no, that'll be fun again. Hopefully, it's a fun season. It can't go much worse than last year. I think that's what we kind of have to look forward to.
That's a
Like
good point.
my buddy kept saying that, being like, no matter what happens this year, it's almost like statistically impossible for them to be worse than last year. And I'm like, boy, do I hope you're right. So, yeah, we'll see. But again, it's very, very close. So I always appreciate you having me on and chatting. It's always a good time. So thank you as always.